And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, the Miami Dolphins losing streak is finally snapped. Miami Dolphins win Monday Night Football over the Los Angeles Rams. They win 23-15. The primetime blockade that has been troubling the Miami Dolphins for a little bit, they're able to get through that tonight, not without its own adversity, but thankfully, and I think everybody here watching can appreciate that, finally the Miami Dolphins met their match in a team of ineptitude and made more mistakes than they did and helped buoy a win their way. Not that the Miami Dolphins didn't make their own plays. This was absolutely necessary tonight to make this season anything possible, to make this any kind of hope. If you were going to give this season life, give it a pulse, you needed to walk away out of Los Angeles with a win, and the Miami Dolphins were able to get that done today. Got off to a really fast start in this game. Tua finding Jalen Waddle, 36 yards. Dude was shifty. He was mobile. Pew! Goes and finds the Penguin for a big gain, and then they give it to the Rook, Malik Washington, who takes off 18 yards. You look at the Rook fly. The Dolphins got out to a big-time lead early on. The defense then really showed up in this game early on for Miami. Chop Robinson, he got himself a sack. That was after Calais Campbell. Dude, Calais Campbell. This guy, it's a giant. What a monster this dude is. 38 years old, okay? And let me tell you something. As a 38-year-old, he ain't the 38 that I'm 38. This guy is the beacon of athleticism, height, and monstrosity. Going out there today, batting balls left and right, just completely dominating the line of scrimmage. He's swallowing up Matthew Stafford for sacks. What a friggin' play. He bats up a ball, gets the Miami Dolphins an interception, and just, one of the craziest back and forths between the Dolphins and the Rams with turnovers. We'll get to that in just a second. But I just have to, the MVP of this game, bar none, Calais Campbell, for how he started this game off and really set the tone for the Miami Dolphins. If you guys didn't see, before the game, Calais Campbell tweeted out a photo of LeBron James, Miami Heat uniform, Game 6. We all down here, of course, are familiar with, really, it's the LeBron legacy game. Heat down 3-2, going to Boston Garden, and LeBron just cooks him for 45 points, and we all remember the look that he had. They zoom in on him, and Calais tweeted that out before the game today, and this dude, he had a motherfucking game today, dude. What a behemoth. You're wondering, is this guy going to stick around? Does he want to stick around? That's friggin' leadership right there. You want to talk about what's a leader of a team? People are wondering, myself, speculate, hey, does he want to still be around here? That shows you right there what kind of a guy that guy is. That he shows up with that kind of a play. Now, the Miami Dolphins would take this interception where he bats it up. Anthony Walker, who, of course, takes over for David Long, gets the pick. The Dolphins get a good run from Achane. They get a toss to Jalen Wright. Dolphins are kind of humming here, all right? We get into the second quarter, and Tua, he throws a ball. It couldn't have been more perfectly placed for Jalen Waddle. Drops it. Now, we don't have to say it, but we were all thinking it. Then I see that Jalen Waddle is blaming it on the lights, which is just, I don't know if he was joking because of what happened with CeeDee Lamb the other night or if he was dead ass serious. I'm not doing this when post-game is going on, so maybe somebody in the locker room will find that out, but I was not pleased with that. The Dolphins have to settle for 3. They go up 10-0, all right? After this, drive completely killed by Calais Campbell, gets his first sack of the night. Jesus, what a monster he is. So he gets a sack. Then the Miami Dolphins, they give it up. Tua throws an ugly pick to Christian Rosebaum over the middle. So they get the ball right back. The Rams, they had the ball coming out. Kendra Fuller recovers it. I think it was it Deshaun Hand who got it? So they force a fumble. So pick, fumble, And then Jared Verse, the next drive, he sacks Tua, knocks the football out, and recovers it. Bullies Robert Jones. Tua can't hold on to the damn football again. Surprise, surprise. And we are playing a game of like, you take it, you take it, you take it, you take it, you take it. It was crazy. Crazy the back and forth that was going on here. But the Miami Dolphins, instead of really having a chance to just put an early just stamp on the game, they let the Rams hang around. So the Miami Dolphins could only, you can only stand so much. Somebody's eventually going to drive down the field. They do. They drive down. Stafford, he hit a huge play to Cooper Kupp. Big play from him while he takes a hit from Will Fuller. But Stafford starts getting a couple of big plays. They still have to settle for 3. Turnover leads to 3 points. That was definitely frustrating because Miami could have taken big-time opportunity for that one. The next drive, this one comes down because Tua, this was rough, man. He got sacked for a big loss of like 15 yards, and you're just like, Jesus, you're rid of the ball, dude. Robert Jones was having a tough time. He'd eventually be taken out of the game. I don't think he returned. I know they showed Lester Cotton take over for him, but that was a bad one. So the Dolphins have to end up punting there. And then, wouldn't you know it, they march down the field. Quentin Bell forces another fumble, another turnover, but the Rams are able to recover it. So it's but they're able to get a pass down to Nakua. They spike it. Get themselves a field goal, 10-6. So, that's another frustrating element to it. I think it was Hal Habib who put out on Twitter the Dolphins' problems with this when it came to this. He said the Dolphins have played 8.5 games. They get a field goal in the closing seconds of the first half in 5 of them. Jaguars, Titans, Colts, Bills, Rams. Yeah. So you think you're basically setting the Rams up for the double score there. And you might have, but this is where the Rams and their issues came to bite them in the ass because they themselves had a little bit. First of all, we have shenanigans in this. Kyron Williams was starting to march down the field. Kendall Fuller gets hurt. He ends up leaving with concussion protocol. Kader Kohu, he shoves DeMarcus Robinson, and Kyron Williams puts his finger in his ear hole. I was like, geez, dude, all right. So then he goes out there. He gets a first down run. Next play, bad snap to Matthew Stafford. Loss of 13 yards. And then they set up for a 52-yard field goal try. It's good. False start. So they have to kick it back 5 more yards. The 57-yarder, no good. So the Dolphins finally get a break their way. Can they take advantage of this? Momentum is swung. They haven't had the damn football since Tua took that nasty-ass sack. Can they get something going here? Well, the answer would be yes. Courtesy of one Jonnu Smith. Jonnu Smith takes the ball from Tua, takes some contact. He would rumble down all the way to the 1-yard line, 33 yards on the catch and run. They had all their tight ends on the field on this play. Him, Julian Hill, did not hit my anytime touchdown today. And then Durham Smythe. And the Dolphins end up having a call timeout on 1st and goal. It was worth it. Tua to Tyreek Hill. Touchdown for the first time since week 1. The Cheetah is in the end zone. And after all this talk about his wrist injury, and he has a torn ligament in his wrist, apparently was made worse by the arrest, he then decides to celebrate with Odell Beckham Jr. I believe it was Odell Beckham Jr. Let me double check on that. I think it was Odell Beckham Jr. Yep, it most certainly was. Odell Beckham Jr. and Tyreek Hill. It looks, I'm not the biggest wrestling fan in the world, but I believe that's the old RKO out of nowhere. If I am missing a more modern reference, that's what I got for you. Somebody can hit me up in the comments and let me know. But either way, the Dolphins find themselves in the end zone. They're up 17-6. Huge job by the Dolphins to take advantage of that missed field goal and get themselves in a good position. So this is one of those things where it's like, all right, they finally get to the end zone. Let's get it going. Dolphins will be able to put up some points in this second half with every time they would touch the football, but that would be their last trip to pay dirt. So The Dolphins, the next drive around, huge play on a 3rd and 7 after some marching down the field from the Rams, and that would be Javon Holland on the blitz, sacks Matthew Stafford. Chop Robinson was right there too. Great day for Chop Robinson. He got his 2nd sack, but his first one he actually got to celebrate. We got to see it, so that was pretty cool for Chop Robinson. Nice day for the rookies out there. That would be right at the end of the 3rd quarter, and the Rams would have to set up for a 53-yard field goal. They would hit it, and that was one where you're like, all right, still in here. This was a crazy play. But then we have another play that was nutty because the Dolphins, Tua almost gets picked off, and Liam Eichenberg takes a headbutt from a dude on the Rams. He gives him a little shovski, takes the headbutt, and Liam Eichenberg, getting his Manu Ginobili on, does the old floppy flop, draws the 15-yard penalty. A heads-up play by Liam Eichenberg. Can't believe I'm saying that. But he did. Big play by him. Tua then would find Jonnu Smith for a first down. He then would go to Achane, complete down the middle for a first down. Then he nearly gets got again by Christian Rosebaum. And I mean, that dude was like, whew, he was NFTF, dude. He was all over the place. The Dolphins get blasted for another sack, but then on 3rd and 19, Tua, probably his play of the game, he goes out there, he does a spin to his blind side, rolls and finds Raheem Mostert, who catches it. Nice 25-yard gain. There was a defensive holding on there. They decline it, but that was an absolutely huge, huge play because that would set the Dolphins up to score in this, and this would be like the margin. The Dolphins would just keep jabbing, just keep keeping their distance from the LA Rams. So they would eventually set up for a 37-yard field goal. They would go up 20-9. Huge play on the 3rd and 19 from Tua. Really was his play of the game, I would say. That was, after taking some rough sacks, some drives really stumbling, some bad turnovers, ball security. That was your big QB1 play there to keep this a game. Now, the Rams would come back. They would lead another drive. They would go down. The big thing in this next drive was Kader Kohu. He grabbed his knee in pain. He banged knees with Kyron Williams. He would be back in the game, but it looked scary at the time. Field goal drive for the LA Rams. They go 20-12. And so the Dolphins, they have a big drive coming up. 6.5 minutes left in the game. It's an 8-point game. If you score one more time, you're probably going to win. So Tua, first big play, he finds on a 3rd and 6, Odell Beckham Jr. for 11 yards. I believe that was the only part of my 4-leg parlay that hit today. I had Odell Beckham over 8.5 yards. I believe I had Devon Achane on receptions, which was set at 5.5. He finished with 5. That didn't hit for me. I had Jalen Wright on rushing yards. I think it was 13. He had -1. That didn't hit for me. So Odell, and then I had I think a Jalen Ramsey pick was my other one. That didn't hit for me either, though he had a good game today. So Odell Beckham Jr., big conversion from him, and then Tua just drops a beautiful pass to Malik Washington in the right in the bucket for a 17-yard gain. Achane, he gets himself a 5-yard run. The Dolphins, about under 3 minutes left. They get LA to start using their timeouts. Tua, he would find Tyreek Hill on a 3rd and 6. It'd only go 3 yards. So we're at a 4th and 3. Old Jason Sanders sets up for a 50-yarder. And I'm not going to lie, boys and girls, I had the squeaky cheeks because I was like, I really hope he hits this. But it was, in LA. It was indoors. Strangely, by the way, I saw it was 58 degrees, which is, I guess, is that unseasonably cool in LA? I don't really know what the weather is over there. But I noticed that Tua was wearing a piece of headgear, and I was like, is it cold there? Did you feel that in a dome stadium? Like, how does it rock over there? I don't mind excuse my ignorance on this. I've never been to SoFi. But I was definitely I think Jalen Ramsey typically wears that, so I wasn't too taken aback by that. But Tua wearing the headgear, the, ski mask almost, I was like, what's going on there? But apparently it was, I looked it up, it was like 58. I'm like, that seems brisk for LA. Especially if you're down here. It's still not. I mean, we can't get a day that's under 75 degrees. Not to brag or anything for all you have to deal with winter. Anyway, the The Rams, so Sanders lines up. He hits it. Dolphins go up by 11, 23-12. And the Rams, they would march it down the field. And eventually, their decision on this, they were the drives were slowly progressing after three straight hits and conversions by the Rams. Things are able to slow up a little bit. Cater Kohu's able to get a stop in the end zone. He gives the old thumbs down. I think it was to Demarcus Robinson. No pass interference call there. And they set up for a field goal, 31 yards. They hit it, so the Dolphins are back up 8. They were going to go for the onside kick. Duke Riley recovers it, and the Miami Dolphins, they are able to kneel on it. Only drive of the second half they did not score on, but mercifully, the losing streak comes to an end. Final score, Miami Dolphins 23, LA Rams 15. My boy Nick on social media is sending this to me. He said, Calais said his post-game message to the team before the game was, quote, to start a wildfire, all you need is a spark. Wow. He's right. That's Goosey's galore right there, dude. Calais Campbell, can I just say, this man is a bar-none Hall of Famer. All right, he's so damn good. And I'm not just saying that for Kane's love and all that. I genuinely think this man is unbelievable. To do what he's doing at his age is crazy. A sack, tackle, he leads the team in tackles for loss. At least he did go in today, and he added another one. 2 pass deflections with his 6'8", ginormous frame. He was incredible. Well, what can you say about Calais Campbell? I mean, like, what other accolades could we add? Because there are not enough to speak as highly of this man as we could. You got Zach Sealer back today, who goes in there. He got a couple of tackles, had a tackle for loss for the Miami Dolphins. He had a pass deflection, jumps up, Sealer it on up. So, really great job by the defense today to hold, the Rams are rolling a little bit. I don't want people to be like, Rams. No, dude, the Rams were on a 3-game win streak. Their offense was rolling, and they were not able to convert on you. Yes, they made their own mistakes today for sure. And you go and look at the numbers, and you'll see Matthew Stafford threw for nearly 300, and you'll look at Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp having decent games. Dude, I'm telling you, the Dolphins came through today. They needed, and you know what? Even if you needed some stuff to shine on you, with the way this season has gone for the Miami Dolphins, still think they earned it, and you need some stuff to go your way, dude. So, great job by them. They shut my ass up. They got to win on primetime. So, double middle fingers to you, Tobes, from Mike McDaniel and Tua Tagovailoa. They were able to. We still had some ball security issues, mind you. That was still a scary item today when it came to the old turnovers. Each side had a couple. Each lost a fumble. Each threw a pick. And then you also had a situation where the Miami Dolphins in this one, the big difference, I would say, you look at the third down, Dolphins 6-13, while the Rams were 3-12. The sacks, Dolphins 6 sacks on the game today. Matthew Stafford was sacked four times. Tua was sacked 3 times. But it wasn't like the cleanest game in the world. There were a ton of mistakes back and forth. But the Dolphins went out on the road and found a damn victory. And the way that they've been, they showed it up in the graphic, that they've been leading leading or tied in the last 3 games. And finally, you're able to come away with a W. You take it, dude. They need it. And now they can try and gather this momentum against the Las Vegas Raiders, who they were already a touchdown favorite and even going into this game. And so I'll be curious to see what that line looks like by the time we get to game time. But now you get a couple of games at home against a couple of teams that are very, very beatable. If they're going to start this comeback, if they're going to start this climb out of the sewer, they got the one they needed to tonight to get that done. This was an absolute must-have for the Miami Dolphins, and they got it.